for taking the time to chat with me today.
No worries. Thanks. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Congratulations on the Thundermans Undercover. It's so great to see some of these characters we've known and loved for a while, and of course, some new ones. So, congratulations on such a great project.
Thank you.
So, I have a few questions for you today. I'd love to hear from you. What's it like to be playing this character again?
It's surreal. Definitely. It's been a long, long time since the
Mhm.
original show. Um, and it's just so much fun. We grew up together, and to get to come back and do the same thing but in a new way. I just don't think a lot of people don't get that opportunity, and so I just feel very lucky.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely a gift to not only do something a few times, but again and again in a few different variations from episodes to movies. So that's really great that you guys have had this long lasting relationship with these characters. And of course, introducing everyone to some new ones as well.
Yeah, it's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yes, for sure. So, this show has been a part of people's lives for a long time now, and we're even some of the newer fans. Maybe they didn't see the original Thundermans, or they're watching it with their older siblings, who are maybe your guys' age now. How has your character evolved over the years?
Well, I think that, obviously in the original show, Max had a lot of growth, from being evil to being good. And, we pick him up in the movie, The Thunderman's Return, and he's so turned to the good that he's obsessed with his celebrity of being a superhero. And, I think the first thing that we sort of work on with Max when we came back for the first time with the movie was, you know, having to look at that in the face and be like, okay, you know, why am I really a superhero? I think, it's very like art imitates life. Like I am an actor and I just love my craft, and I'm here just to be a vessel and a performer, and that's all that I want to do. And so a lot of times it's easy to kind of get caught up in who I am, Jack, and my celebrity, or whatever level that is. And that's why I was kind of able to relate to that part of Max, and that it's easy to listen to the voices around you that want to like tell you that you're great, and that it's just important to kind of remain humble and know that you know I go into everything, or I try to go into everything thinking that I know nothing, and I am just here to learn. And that's really what I did as an executive producer, is like segue into your next question. I
Yeah.
uh, I really just learned so much, and I think it could have been easy for me to walk on set and have this pumped out chest and whatever, and on the contrary, I really just was a fly on the wall, and I helped the kids with their lines, and I learned a lot about production, and I just I took it as a learning opportunity.
That's wonderful. It's great just to hear you share how you are personally being able to relate to Max as well through all those different seasons of his life, and as he grows and you've grown together, side by
Yeah.
side through the whole process. So you shared a little bit about the executive producing. How has that process been for you, and what really goes into producing an episode?
So much goes into producing an episode. I think we, in theory, knew about it when we were kids, Kira and I, and then really stepping into being an actual executive producer, you kind of get a front row seat to all of it. And everything under the sun, honestly, like everything that you don't think about has to be talked about in the production meetings. And they're so specific with the items that they need and the time that might be needed and where they're going to get it from, and who's going to get it, and on what day it'll get there. And but for me, you know Kira and I also have a very big job to do, which is lead the show. And so for me personally, I couldn't get too um, caught up on the production side because at the end of the day, my real job is to play Max, and that's really what I need to do. That's my job, and it takes a lot. It takes a lot of effort, and because it's more than just memorizing the lines and performing them. It's like you're in Vancouver alone. You have to like get to the gym. You have to like eat right. You have to memorize your lines. You have to get to set. You have to do other auditions too while you're there. Just like it was almost like you have to shoot 2 episodes a week, and so it was like there was something to do every 5 minutes, and that's
Oh,
what really why I grew so much as a person shooting this first season is because I've never worked that hard and that much and that consistently. And so when I got back to LA, I felt like a totally different person. I was like I grew so much, and that's why we do it. That's why we like work hard in life, is to get these experiences that sort of shape us and mold us and propel us forward. And I can only hope to get another season or movie or experience like that, to have that same experience of growth.
oh, that's wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing. That really is, a ton of multitasking. And like you kind of said, you have to sort of separate that all in your brain somehow. Like, okay, what hat am I putting on for this afternoon? Am I
Yeah.
Max, executive producer? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a lot. Well, I think your guys' hard work is paying off for sure because the fans' response to the show has just been wonderful so far.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it.
So, what were you really excited, caught off guard, or surprised when you heard of the idea of this spinoff coming to be?
Um, it's a good question. I remember where I was. I was at a music festival with my friends in Vegas, and it was 2021 because we shot the first thing, the movie, in 2022. And yeah, it's 2021, which is so crazy. It's been 4 years already. That's just wild.
Wow.
Um, 4 years maybe later this year, so a little under 4 years, 3.5 years. Um, but it was like this feeling of surprised but not, it had been the right amount of time. And um yeah, I just remember feeling like, not to be, I don't mean to like be conceited, but like a little bit of like, of course they should, of course we're going to, like it just makes sense. um and my answer right away was yes, like before any of the dealings and
Mhm.
details. And I just knew in my heart, in my gut, that it was going to be great.
Yeah, you knew it was the right thing to do, that gut instinct, huh?
Yeah, exactly. You got to go with your gut.
Absolutely. Well, my last question for you is what lessons do you think the audience watching today can learn from the Thundermans?
I think one of the biggest lessons that I've learned and taken with me in my life is that it's not all about me all the time. And when you're a part of a big family, you sort of get that. When you have siblings, you have to experience that. And when you're part of something bigger than yourself, you understand that. And so I think the Thundermans gives kids the idea that we're all in this together, truly, and that you know you got to pick up slack for people when they're lacking,
Yep,
and instead of leaving people in the dust, you got to help people along the way. And um and I think yeah, those are some of the lessons that I've learned, at least.
that's great. Thank you so much, Jack. I appreciate you taking the time to chat with me today.
Nice to meet you, Robin. Thank you.